Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
Cheers,
welcome.
my brothers. Cheers.
Wait, Steve.
What's
Steve,
up?
that's a nice green screen you got going on there.
You like that?
I love
like
it. I love that
Listen
green
to
screen.
his audio.
Wait. Yeah. It gets even better. Watch this.
Uh-oh.
No, his audio is fantastic, isn't it? I have to say, his audio is absolutely fantastic.
It is.
That is amazing.
I can actually move the green screen.
Ooh.
And it looks real.
Oh.
So for those that don't know, well, all right, hold on. First off, welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse, everybody. I'm not hosting tonight, but I figured I would just kick things off because our normal, guy that's, talking about stuff that's in the sky, he couldn't get out of work because he wouldn't call that he's sick to come and hang out and talk about grounding. You know what? I love being grounded, guys. You know what?
You call in exhausted. That's the deal.
He's grounding airplanes tonight while we talk about grounding. So Steve is stuck with Izzo for a little longer.
That's all right. You know what? That's all right. We went out and played POTA today. 108 contacts in about 2 hours. I'll do that any day of the week.
He worked a whole bunch of states he needed, a couple twofers. We worked Bean and Ant on an ATNO. And
Nice.
is she in the chat right now? Is she in the chat right now?
I have not seen her in the chat yet.
Because we got to say hello to her because she walked on ice today. You've heard of
Literally.
women who walk on water. Bean walked on ice today, so we'll wait till she comes into the chat.
So the jokes are going to start, or we're going to start them early, all right?
Yep.
Ron, I rode my bicycle into an electric fence for it once. I wasn't grounded until I put a foot down. Oh, they're going to continue. Uh-oh. 8060M found the magic button. We'll talk about that in a minute. Rich, KO4 OBR.
Crap.
What's it like not being grounded? I moved out eventually, but isn't that the same thing?
Yep.
I didn't realize that we had the monetization up. That's awesome.
You didn't realize that? And
Dennis
Mike
will be
and AYL.
forever.
Here we
Bring
go.
as our first
NAYL. Here we go.
I used to get
NAYL.
grounded when I didn't conduct myself properly. Oh, here we go.
That's
Yes.
awesome. That's good.
So for everybody, welcome again. It is the first. It's actually February 1st. It is the first night that we actually have activated something that we thank everybody for allowing us to, and we have a button that allows you to give us super chats. That's not enough, Shane. Anyway, and our first super chat ever goes to the Hamdom Thoughts podcast, which is an amazing podcast, which
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to more episodes.
There's Bean.
Looking forward to more episodes. Dennis, thank you very much. And Shane has decided that he wants to put in a penance for his absence. That's not enough, buddy.
Add a few zeros to that.
So,
hey,
I'm going to let everybody out in a little secret. All right. So, something that Don didn't know that we started in the back. We started our Good and Welfare Committee pretty quickly. And the five of us, without Don's knowledge, we're discussing on what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. And Shane decided to turn around and say, or not Shane, I'm sorry, Shane and Joe, they both put out those two beautiful tributes that you guys saw previously to this video. We will link them again in the description below. But not only did those beautiful tributes come in, but somebody went and found a discount airline that Shane's not working for, so he's grounded for another reason. But he
that's why he's not here tonight.
He flew up. He surprised Izzo, and for once, I'm not going to pull it up now, but we'll probably separate, put it in separately later. But Don was speechless. He was speechless, ladies and gentlemen. We finally got Don to stop talking. But in all seriousness, Don, we love you very much, man, and we are proud to have you in our family. And much love to you, man.
I got to tell everybody got to get serious here for a minute, okay? And then we can start our usual shenanigans because you know something, I need some shenanigans. I need to. I don't know how to say thank you. And the biggest font and with the biggest hugs around all of you, my Ham fam, my brothers here, Coffee and Ham Radio, Jason at Ham Radio 2.0, and so many other people. Please, I can't mention names anymore because I'm afraid I'm gonna leave somebody out, and that is not fair. So let me just say to everybody, the Ham fam, you know who you are. You have supported me in so many ways. Financially, I'm seeing some of the financial donations that you guys have done there, but there have been other random acts of kindness that for a guy like me, it's hard to accept. But I have to tell you, I need it, I want it, and I love you all for it because I never thought I was ever going to have to deal with something like this ever. And watching those two videos, you guys took time out of your busy schedules to, put them all together, and you brought more tears. I'm gonna have to buy stock in Kleenex or something, or Puffs Plus, because I haven't cried so much. But a lot of it is happy tears. I want you guys to know. So thank you. And it's stuff like this about creating a balance that is needed. Sadness is part of life. We all know that. But we need to have some sadness, and I think, in our lives to understand when we're having good times in our life. So, like I said,
dude, if I can give you a hug right now, I'd give you a hug. Here, come here.
Are you wearing a clean? No, wait. Are you wearing a wait? Is he wearing a clean black T-shirt? That's all I want to know. You wearing? Yes.
Like
I want to make sure he's wearing pants too. That's what I'm.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, be careful standing up there, brother.
Come here.
Right.
So with everybody, there's a couple of things.
Much love, everybody.
At the top of the chat pinned is a link for the GoFundMe for Don for the Izzo family. If you guys would like, you go ahead and just tap into that real quick if you haven't done so already. There's also this awesome thing. He mentioned Coffee and Ham Radios. Okay, so in the Toads Discord, Ham Radio dude Sean put together a sticker pack, and he did say that he's getting them out. What does it say here? Thursday. Yes. Yep. So it's the message was let the stream know that shipping should start on Thursday with regards to the sticker packs that everybody had gone for. The sticker packs, I don't know if he has any available anymore, but there is one available that we will be giving out tonight to somebody tonight. We'll do it later on, but we will have a sticker giveaway.
Dude is in the chat, so he can speak up and say if he has any left.
Oh, yeah.
He should come on the show after.
Beer Snack, I got to tell you guys, you guys really know how to shut me up. Not only by Steve just surprising me, but you guys
mute button right here. See?
There it is.
but you guys have really. How do you say it? I'm speechless. You guys really I'm something. I am blessed. Yes, a very devastating event has happened. But sometimes in these devastating events, you have to look for signs of help me out here with those words. And you're it. This ham fam is it. I turn around and then somebody is either knocking on my door or sending me a message or whatever. And today I had a hard time this weekend. Not only because of the winter storm, I could not play Winter Field Day. I could not bring myself to get inside that Eskimo ice hut. My brand new Winter Field Day sweatshirt came in, and it meant nothing to me because she wasn't here. But today, Steve got me out, and we went to a park. I actually wanted to bring him to 2 or 3 parks. We wanted to do something funny to Bean. We wanted to find out what park she was going to go into, and we wanted to work her on all the bands and give her a signal that was like 60 over and throw her off her game a little bit. But we knew she's so good she would still log it in and no problem. But they ended up chasing us. They chased us on 40 meters and 20 meters. So Bean and her partner Sean out there were fantastic, and it felt so good. Even though we were stuck inside the truck, it just felt so good to get back on the air today. It really, thank you guys for all my 100. I think my 100 plus contacts. I think it's 105, 106. And
I
watching
had 108,
Steve,
so you were up there above me.
So, but watching Steve make contacts with states how he never has before. All in all, man, it was good. So, but can we just start some shenanigans, please? I don't want to cry anymore. I want to.
You sure? I'm sure that we could keep cutting these onions up, man. I'm sure because that's what we could do. So real quick, this past weekend, it snowed around here, and I had the kids for the weekend, and they got to dig snow tunnels. I didn't get out for Winter Field Day, but that's okay. I was happy about that. But wait, I actually heard sideband in the house.
Wow!
Like clear sideband. I was just chewing through, but I hurt. I mean, it might have been a guy next to me. I don't know. 40. Oh. And I normally don't get it. But 40 during the day, right coming into my house. I could barely get FT8 into my house. Here we go. Woohoo, I got voice. All right. And then I'm like, no, I'm not going to cook the kids tonight.
Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow night.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow night. No, we had a blast in the snow. Great time. And put stuff together, and a lot of it was spent indoors. They played, they played with me. They looked at me with the radio. They were all hanging out with me and like looking at the radio, like, all right, we've seen Dad play with this, but let's see what it's about. And my oldest was asking questions about it, so I was going into it a little bit more with them. So
it's awesome.
Nice.
Maybe
that's a good bonding.
All I can say is, Beer Snack, you guys just got monetized. You're throwing these 4-letter words around. They're going to take that away from you.
What 4-letter words?
Snow. Rain.
By the way, we've had a bunch of super chats. I saw Scout 75. I'd have to go through the list. Where's the list? See, we've been talking. We haven't given shout outs. So I think I see the icon. Is that Evan? And there's a bunch of you guys. Let me go up here. We got Chris. We got Reed. We got Brian. We got Scout 75. We got Evan. We Mike KMRD, who says Shane's Penance Fund. So
he's adding for Shane's Penance Fund.
We got Loud, Cascadia Radio Anime, and we got Phil. Thank you guys, Plasma Storm, and Shane. And
can we also mention? Hey, can we just give a quick shout out to all our friends who are, if they happen to watch us on Twitter right now or listen to us on Twitter?
Yeah, for sure.
We're on Twitter, and if you're going to be listening to this on the podcast, Beer Snack, would you like to give the illegal warning if you're listening on the podcast right now?
No, because it's attached to the podcast.
Then I'll go ahead.
I can confirm it is. I listened today.
Okay. So remember, be careful driving and operating heavy machinery if you're listening to us.
And drinking hot liquids.
And don't do what I did, because Steve heard it during our memorial service on Sunday. I told the story about how I got stuck in the tree, and
and how you got stuck on the roof.
And how she took the ladder away from me so I couldn't get down off the roof. So if you're on the roof right now listening to us on the podcast, let's just make sure you have a ladder so you can get down.
So
and
Steve,
Steve, your audio.
Steve, your audio. Apparently, Plasma says your audio is on point.
It's great.
Yeah. You have to be in the right location for it, huh?
Location.
Yeah, but how is it? Steve's at Izzo's desk. It works perfectly, and when Don's at his own desk, it doesn't work. It's true. You know it too. You know it. It doesn't work. Did you fix his computer, Steve? Is that what you did? Thanks, Don.
I may have done something.
A service. Hey, Steve, a service ticket. We were just talking about service tickets.
Right. Just working a little, DX in the extra portion of the band on the 70.
Yeah, he comes down. He comes into the house. I give him the nickel tour. He goes into the extra portion just to, I don't know, rub it in my nose. And next thing you know, he's working freaking Italy. And I'm like, okay, I'll see you. I'll let you go. I'll go back upstairs. Let me know when you're done. I come back. He had a whole log.
Steve, did you do any winter field day? I heard you were a little bit busy this weekend, but did you do any?
Yeah.
Thanks, Jason.
I did. I did get a little bit of winter field day in. It was more Don and I hanging out, just talking, having a good time, throwing some memories down, and just being with my brother. No, she's at the house, nice. So I flew up solo, and I'll let everybody know, we have a private chat going between the six of us. Mm-hmm. I told Don that morning that I'd call him later to check on him, see how he was doing. And I got here right about dinner time, and he told his son, I just heard a car door close. And then the doorbell rings.
We thought it was a TV. We thought it was a TV on TV.
He opens the door. It's my ugly mug. He goes, get your ass in this house now.
No.
So, and first question was, how long did you drive? And I said, what, about an hour from Hartford? So
that's awesome.
And I was looking around the corner. I didn't know if any one of you was hiding in a hiding around the corner or something. And the doorbell was going to ring. I was getting ready to go outside and check the house.
No, trust me, Don. You got to hit with a snowball from me. That would have been
it. We had enough of it. I tell you what.
Yeah, Steve actually experienced what it's like to dig out a vehicle in the snow. A lot of firsts for Steve. On this trip.
Oh yeah.
You guys don't have snow. You're in South Carolina, right?
Yep, I'm down in South Carolina. They did get a little bit of snow this weekend, but not enough to stick. Up here, it was up to my knee. Let me go back south, please. I'll hang for a few more days, but it's cold up here.
What about you, Joe Brett? Did you do winter field day?
Well, kinda. I went and I was invited by a local group, the Area 51. I done a little video when they did their first POTA a little while back, and they wanted me to come out for winter field day. They had a pretty good setup. It's a big metal building with some heat. It was nice, but they had some projects going. They had some people taking their test. They got 2 brand new technicians licensed and got all of them on the air on HF to experience that.
Good. Excellent.
I got just enough video to create a short. I don't know if I'd have any to do long enough for that because I was too busy shaking hands and saying hello to folks, but it was a good time.
What a celebrity he is. Look, he's such a celebrity. Did you hand out T-shirts and stickers?
I handed out cards.
There you cards. There you go. See, that's what you do. Marketing.
And let me put in. I want to thank Steve. I was working with him, and he set me up with some people. I passed my general exam Friday night.
Woohoo! That's right. We saw that. I was
and then I got on. I actually was on 10 meters, but I couldn't hear anybody. I switched over to 12 meters, and I actually heard I wasn't hooked up to a computer, but I heard digital coming across 12 meters during winter field day. Mm-hmm. But, you know.
I saw you inside your bath. I think you were in your bathroom, right? Did you take the test in your bathroom?
Yeah, I took the test in my bathroom. No, not my bathroom. It's actually my guest bedroom.
Okay.
But my so what happened was my mom is living with us, and she was in this room. But then when my daughter and my son-in-law come, they need a place to stay. So she moved into what was my ham shack and YouTube studio. So when they're not here, I'm set up in the corner of their room with a little card table.
I think you could probably speak for this. If anyone, Don, what do you think? If anybody has any questions or not what to expect for online testing, because we're so used to the in-person, the paper. Any advice, any recommendations for anybody?
Just know that they're going to want to see everything, and when I say everything, they even had me show the ceiling because I guess some people beer snack.
Hey, you
behave.
Need to be
behave.
No.
I will call down the wrath of God upon you. Behave.
He will. He will.
So, because apparently people hang answers, they tape them to the ceiling, and then they'll be looking like they're thinking, and they'll be reading the answer off this. Of course, if they can read something on the ceiling, I can't see that far. I am vertically challenged and blind, so
Well, the solution for that is, you just got to tilt your camera down a bit, and then you won't be vertically challenged anymore.
Got it. Other than that, if you're used to, I was using the Ham Study app. So if you're used to doing that, or if you're used to doing the study online, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just you've got people watching you through the Zoom to make sure you're not cheating. But just make sure you're ready to take it. I thought it was going to be close. Make sure you wear socks.
Bean.
So for the podcast listeners, Bean says make sure you wear nice socks. Where did you go with that?
I'm sorry. That's me. I'm sorry. Where is she?
Make sure you wear nice socks. You have to show your feet in every crevice of the room. You have to show the crevice between your toes.
Not if you're wearing socks.
Not if you're wearing socks.
I almost got myself in. I almost got myself in trouble there.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Don.
I like Bean too. I like her. She's a nice lady.
What was hold on, what was where was that Victor Echo 5 there? What was he saying? He pulled it up. Jody. Where am I? Yeah. Jody says, I wonder how they detect a very accurate virtual background that looks like an empty office.
We can't have it turned on. You can't have a background I don't have a background today. That's how it had to look in the Zoom. You can't have a background on.
Okay. Thank you, Nick, for the super chat.
Because if you don't have if you have a green screen, they may not be able to, but just as long as you don't have the cat head turned on when you're
I was going to say, but you have to show the whole room.
Yes,
so
that's
green
true.
Screen won't be a full 360.
Yeah, that's true. This is we have to wear pants too.
Thank you. That's important. I tell you, I'll bring a number 2 pencil, and I'll make sure I wear my pants. So,
and no headsets either. Can't wear a headset.
Correct. Really? Oh yeah, because it could be cheating.
Yeah, because you could have somebody giving you the answers through the headset.
How paranoid are these people? Like, come on.
Well,
you guys make it harder to do at an amateur radio test than it is to vote. That's crazy.
Oh, here we go.
Ironically enough, you're right.
Yeah.
Hold on. Molson rant.
No, you don't want a Molson rant.
I've been watching you all week. Let me tell you something, Molson. I've been watching you all week, and that's all I'm going to tell you.
Well, I didn't get to do field day. I got distracted with some other stuff, so my plans changed. So, yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Things all right for you, Dan? Things going okay up there?
Things are fantastic.
Yeah. Got a big old convoy.
Did you go grocery shopping? Did you go grocery shopping? I'm sorry.
Listen,
instead of hugging me, he's going to strangle me now, isn't he?
I have no problem talking about it. We might lose a lot of viewers. I support the convoy. That's all I got to say. That's it.
Yeah.
So hey, we actually have somebody here that wants to talk about stuff other than us just BSing.
I want to talk about grounding. This is one of the most interesting topics is grounding. I think it's got everybody like.
It's a very polarizing subject.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, Don, welcome. Introduce yourself and take it away. Unless you're frozen. Did he freeze? Did we lose Don?
Which is weird because I'm sitting right here, right by my Wi-Fi.
There he is.
So I don't know.
There you go.
I'm sitting right by my Wi-Fi. I don't understand.
I was like, that was a great impersonation of Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, he was frozen, like, eh. And then the voice comes out. I was like, "What's he? Can you do that? Can you do what's that called there with the puppet?
Ventriloquism?
Yes, that's it.
No, I cannot.
Dennis is correct.
So some people named Don, their lips have to move to talk. I don't understand. I think it's the name. I don't know. My name is Don KE5ADX. I do have a YouTube channel, the RF Field Tech, where I have been doing RF work in one form or another for just about 30 years now. I started in the Marine Corps as a radio operator for a artillery unit. Then I went, and nobody give me grief over this. I was part of the Clinton drawdown, and I had to be back in the military, so I joined the Army. And I was a network switch operator maintainer there. Broke my ankle, got out, and I've been working at my current job as a cell site technician for one of the big three for the last almost 22 years. And once it hits the shelter or the platform, it's mine until it leaves. Grounding, fiber, RF cables, equipment, scripting, Cisco routers. I do it all. So that's just me in a nutshell.
That's pretty cool. I have a buddy who worked for a radio company that he did all that stuff there, and it's very interesting where his take on grounding is actually very different than what we hear in the amateur radio world. And do you find that the same? Like, do you analyze it differently?
I do actually. Now, I will say that I don't have anything grounded at my house because I don't have anything set up anymore. But when I do, and I'm going to show some of the pictures of what it looks like. It's just generic pictures of what it looks like at the shelter and how they have underground ground rings. And one thing that a lot of people don't do is you have mechanical grounding, which is just your 2-hole lugs or your 1-hole lugs. And then you have exothermic, which is the CAD welding. And that's a whole nother beast in and of itself. Basically, you get a shot. It's actually a box about this big, and you put in I think it's aluminum and tin, and you basically join your two ends of copper together. You spark that thing, and it welds it.
Yeah, that's actually pretty impressive. I've seen a couple of videos of it. It's actually a little bit terrifying when you think about that little, then it's really cool. Like, I would be super paranoid about like catching crap on fire,
So we should have had this tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we should have held this off. We should have held this off till tomorrow for Groundhog Day.
Yes.
That one's hurt.
So Don, we like in the amateur radio world, we have our regular. Shoot, my mind's going blank right now. The things there, not the ground floor protector. You know what I'm talking about. The like alpha surge arresters. We have that. We talk about grounding the coax. We talk about grounding the shack. A big confusion between seems to be one of the polarizing issues is like grounding your shack to the house line, separate. So walk us through your thoughts on everything.
So that's a good question. Personally, I would ground my shack separate from the house, because personally, if you if you get some kind of feedback or whatever and it shorts the whole house out, it's going to burn up your equipment and everything. But if your equipment's on its own ground, it's separated and it's protected. You have that extra layer of protection. And I like how you said grounding our antenna lines. A lot of people just, because if you do the test, it says what's the best way to take the common voltage current off? Toroid. Me personally, you put a ground on it, you do the same thing. Grounding your tower is also something important. If you have a tower and it's not carbon fiber, if like I have a 50-foot steel push-up pole, you want to ground that as well because,
So before we go on, so there's a couple of questions I have. This is a topic I really enjoy. So you're talking about grounding the shack separate from the house, right? And you're talking about reverse voltage.
Right.
So if outside we have a lightning strike close to the house, we have the antenna that we have to worry about. We also have reverse voltage through the grounding of your house. Like the ground rod that your house is using, you can get reverse voltage through, and you can cause damage there. Right. So, but when you're talking about the general vicinity of the house, whether your ground rod is for me, my ground rod's right outside of the house here, and it's about 35 feet towards the front of my house to the one for my house here.
Right.
They're completely separate. So, like, is it really, even though you're separated, what is it? It's not a guarantee that you're eliminating that issue, right?
No, it's not a guarantee. One thing you can do if you wanted to, and that's something I have that I'm going to share here in a little bit.
We'll share it.
Okay, let me see.
Don't let me distract you. I just have so many questions about this topic.
Of course you do, but
I'm opinionated.
Well, Prescott has a question here. Does your house supply power to your shack, though? And yes, the house power does, that does supply power to your shack, but you want to isolate, what is it, RF from electrical ground? You have your RF ground, you have electrical ground, you have the earthing. So what is it? It's earthing is what we do with the power panel, and grounding is what you do with the RF energy.
No matter what you do.
Don't take my word for it. All right, I play an expert on YouTube.
Yes, I
think there's something coming up later, probably later when we start talking about tower grounding and then your shack grounding, tying those together. It started to me, it kind of relates to your electrical panel and your shack, because no matter what you do, you're connected between them all. There's continuity between them all. Does that make sense, Don?
Yes.
I know you're looking for the file, but this idea that you can isolate your ground at your tower from your shack, if your shield of your coax is connected to a lighting arrestor, you're connect, like if you have multiple runs, you're tied in anyways. It might not be the most effective conductor, but it's still there.
Right. And really the only way to really isolate your shack is if your shack is external to your to your house.
Okay, so the question is, do you bond your RF ground to your panel ground?
No.
So they.
No,
but
so
there's
like
so much, but so much information says you have to bond it to the panel, and
hold on. So Don, do you have a full presentation from A to Z you want to do? I have no clue.
Yeah,
I've been so disconnected all week.
No, that's all right.
So why don't we just give you the screen and we won't interrupt. You go to and then we'll ask questions.
All right. I don't know if you can see this or not.
Well, I don't know why I'm on the picture there. Hey, dude, open up a new tab and go www.
Yeah, I've got a new tab up. There we go.
Yeah, .p, and we'll see, because you're not in incognito mode, so we can see what kind of sites you go to.
Leave him alone.
Well, it's
okay. It's okay. I'm joking.
Yeah, I don't care if you see this. Let me see. How do I do full screen here?
Oh, that's cool. This is better.
No, well, we'll just do it this way. Wow, that is cool. I haven't really done this full screen before.
You got to click the on your left hand side there. Go to 100% and increase your size first. Right there beside the paintbrush. To the left. To the left.
To the left.
Right there. Stop. To the right.
Too far.
Over. Right there.
Over.
Okay.
No,
right
the
there.
next one over.
Right
Increase your size.
There we go.
There you go. All right.
Fit. There we go. Now we got
Welcome to Word.
Yeah, right.
Microsoft Word with Daniel.
Except this is a Google Drive. So,
Mike, you're on. Mike anyway says, did Molson just say he won't interrupt? Now picking bets.
No. That's all right. He can't interrupt. So,
all right, so Don, you are now full screen with your presentation. We are going to. We are not visible, so us making faces at everybody around us is not going to be visible.
So I thought I'd start with the electrical protection, and this refers to methods and devices used to control or mitigate potentials and currents of magnitude that could possibly constitute a hazard to people, property, and communications equipment. And this, by the way, is out of the National Electric Code, Chapter 8, which deals with communications sites. Wow, I even know that. Helps when you have a journeyman electrician for a son, right? The source of these abnormal potentials and currents is extraneous to the communication system and is frequently referred to as foreign potentials. The purpose of electrical potential is twofold: to minimize, as far as practical, electrical hazards to communication systems users and to protect those who are engaged in installation, operation, and maintenance of the system. So that would be us as operators, as ham operators, as well as anybody that comes into our shacks. And to reduce, as far as practical, electrical damage to, I didn't take some of that out, aerial buried, wow, I don't know where some of this came from, or power plants, and to buildings or structures associated with such plants. So if you happen to want to put a power bay in your shack, but this would be your man, my brain is blanking. Your power plant would be your
that would be the power supply?
Yes, power supply. Thank you. Wow, I'm just blanking tonight. It's been a long day. Optimum protection of, optimum protection of plant and equipment involves striking a balance between the initial cost of the protection measures, the cost of maintenance, the value of uninterrupted operation, and the cost of system repairs. So, if you want to go out and spend, $6,000 every couple months for shorting out your Flex 6000, hey, knock yourself out. Electrical protection should be considered early in the development and planning of your plants and your facilities, because most protection measures cost more to introduce at a later time. I'm not going to read all of this. I might go to so bonding and grounding. That's what we're talking about. Bond is, or a tie. Bonding is electrically connecting two or more pieces of hardware belonging to the amateur operator or another utility to maintain a common electrical potential. Tank and I discussed this, where he is going to run ground rods all the way around his house so he can connect the ground rod from his antennas to the ground rod to his house. You can do that. Oh, wow, somebody's sending Morse code. Heard it in the background. In the context of bonding, the term hardware includes equipment, cables, above-ground enclosures, and towers to establish or maintain continuity. And what that would look like, let me do this a fit. I'm going to go here. That's not. So what that would look like is if you have an external, if you want to go ahead and do this to your house, once it catches up to us, that's fine. I'll talk about that in a minute. If you want to go through and do this, do a buried ground ring around the outside of your house, and you want to trench it, knock yourself out. I'm just going to say. And then if you want to do the same to your tower, that's up to you. I would drive in ground rods at the corners of the building, and then run a ground wire. If you have an external shack for your home, I would mount a ground rod, or I'm sorry, a ground bar outside, run that to ground, and then run a ground from that to inside to another ground rod and U for ground. I don't get it. And then connect them that way. That way you're maintaining the same electrical your potential. Yeah. One thing that I did tell Frank that isn't in here is that it's actually recommended that if you're going to use multiple ground bars, that you would put them 8 to 10 feet apart, so that when you run them together and bond those two ground bars together, you've got about an 8 to 10 foot separation.
That would be based on the depth in which your ground rod is going into the ground, right? Like if you have an 8 foot ground rod in the ground, you want an 8 foot diameter. If you is it diameter or radius you want to? I think it's radius.
It's the radius.
Radius. Yeah. So just so that they're not interacting with each other, you give
right.
Okay. So can you go back to that picture of your layout? Sorry, I was talking and the microphone was muted. Okay, so on the right hand side there, you have your tower, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yep,
and then you're going to your house, and so if you were and you're grounding right around your house, so you're doing a whole perimeter of your house there,
right? That's why I said if you want to do this to your whole house, knock yourself out because you got to trench the whole thing. But if you were going to do like Jason Ham 2.0, where you just have a little, you go to Lowe's or whatever and buy the little shack for storage shack.
Yeah,
you can trench. That one would be easier to trench around, and then that's a buried ground ring that you would then come off of. Me personally, I would, like I said, I would put at the corners. I would put ground rods at the 4 corners, and then bring them in through the corners. For that, well, no, for an external. For the house, wherever you're going to set your shack up at, I would run. I would punch. So, like, if this is the front of, if this is the let's say I'm going to put this is one of my bedrooms right here, for example. I would run out that window. I would run a braided ground cable from an indoor ground bar to an outdoor ground bar. Then that outdoor ground bar, I would run straight to a ground rod driven in the ground.
So at the bottom of your page there, you have the service entrance ground rod. So in this illustration, it's tying into the ground rod of the house.
Right? Yes. Yeah, okay. You can do that.
All right.
So.
Okay, cool.
Real quick. You were asking about Ufer ground. And Ufer ground was during World War II. The Army required grounding for bomb storage vaults near Tucson and Flagstaff, because conventional grounding systems didn't work well in the desert terrain because there was no water table. And apparently it's a concrete encased grounding rod is what it is.
Oh. See, even
so it's common in concrete foundations. Thanks, Don.
So, Don, I have a question for you. I think I speak on behalf of 98% of amateur radio operators that they're never going to go around the perimeter of their house doing that. Like, so do you have a suggestion coming up for like the standard Joe Blow lazy ass like me, or?
And that's why I said what I would do is I'd drive the ground rod right outside wherever I'm going to set my shack up. So if I have a window, I'll drive a ground rod there.
Okay.
Then I'll run a number 2 tin coated piece of copper to a ground bar that I would mount to the wall outside. Okay. And then I would use what do we call it now? It's just it's a flat piece of ground wire.
Ground strap.
Ground strap. I would run from the outside to inside to another ground bar I'd mount inside. Unless you just want to drill through the wall and run it through that way. And I guess if you get a pass through, you can run it through. Just run the ground through the window into a ground bar inside. Okay. That would be easy too. I just like redundancy so that I'm making everything, and then ground all your equipment to that ground bar inside.
Okay.
The easiest would be bring come one of those the ground cables, or not ground cable. Oh my gosh, my brain is just shot today. The ground strap, I would come from the easiest way: ground bar outside, strap to inside to a ground bar, or ground ground rod to a ground bar down to that. That'd be the simple, easy, because then you could close the window on that strap, and because it's flat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
That's the simplest and easiest. And I know I've heard people say, I don't have anything in my shack grounded. One of the people that did the testing, he said, I had everything in my house grounded, and I was causing interference with everything and everyone around me. I took all the grounding out and haven't had a problem since.
Now that could that have been because his ground wire was just too long, and it was radiating, or would that be?
It could be that. It could be that whatever kind of ground he was, the ground outside his house, it could have been sand, or because I've noticed if we have a commercial site and there's sand, that thing is horrendous with grounding. I mean, we lose so much equipment because it's not a really good ground, and it'll just short everything out. That's fun.
So then, Don. So and I mean, I might be one of those candidates who, being 3,000 feet from Long Island Sound here, and I'm sure there's other people like me. What do you do then? What do you do when you have a situation like that? You live up in the third floor or plus of an apartment building, or 3-family house. There have got to be alternative, safe methods. I'm sorry. Is there alternative methods that you could still create the same or as best as possible?
Interesting you asked that question. Frank had that question. Shane had that question because Shane lives on the second floor of his apartment. And I asked my son that question because my thought was, if you feel comfortable taking an outlet, wherever your shack is at, if you're near an outlet, you can actually ground your equipment to the ground of the outlet, because that puts it on the house ground then. And he said that's perfectly legitimate to make or you can take a ground bar and run a ground wire from that bar to the ground of you'd have to pull the faceplate off and actually ground physically to the outlet at that point, so that you're on the same ground, and then ground everything to that ground bar, and you've accomplished the same thing on the second, third, fourth, fifth floor of your apartment or house or whatever.
And at that case, if you were going to go that route, if you're not comfortable removing that plate from the outlet, seek out an somebody who an electrician. Just guys, let's just make this clear.
Yeah.
Do not be opening the cover, the plastic cover to the outlets, with the screwdriver and start. I think this is it. Tell you what, why don't you get somebody to help you?
Yeah, and for any of this grounding,
you'll think it is once.
Well,
that's all it takes.
And let's just throw this out there: if you don't feel comfortable doing any of this grounding, get an electrician.
Yeah,
good point.
Or your assistant.
Or your assistant. Yeah.
I wouldn't trust any assistants.
Wouldn't that be cool if there was an adapter? Okay, not to, but those wall plugs that take it from like the 2 and make it 6. You know what I'm talking about? They're like a block.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be awesome if you had something like that, but it had like a ground lug, so you can so it's like an outlet, you plug it in, and then there was a ground lug on it, so it automatically did it, and they sold those at like DX Engineering maybe, and then because there's a lot of people in apartments and stuff, that would be a pretty viable solution, I think.
Yeah. GFI breakers be effective.
I like this question. I really like this question. It's excellent.
I think our fall protectors would be your problem.
I think the only problem with the GFI breaker is that if you were exceeding whatever that GFI was rated for, it would trip all the time. So you'd have an electrical issue with your equipment or your ground. So that's about those things are designed that if there is a fault. And those GFI breakers are usually only used around your water sources, bathrooms, stuff like that. So if you're grounding your ham shack is in your bathroom, to each his own, I guess.
You should only be taking your upgrades in your bathroom. That's the only time you should be in your bathroom. And as well as reading
CQ Toda.
As well as reading QST and all the other great magazines. You do, that is the library. That's that's where you do your studying for your upgrade. And absolutely.
But another good thing about GFIs is you don't have to put those in the bathrooms. You can put those anywhere in your house. And I think a GFI would be a good option for your ham shack as well, because like I said, those are designed to, if there's anything, as soon as it detects a short, it pops and kills power to it.
Good point.
So
excellent point.
And that would protect your equipment. That would protect your house because it shuts power off right away. And then then you'd have to figure out, okay, why am I causing this thing to short out all the time?
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, no, it definitely big things. Yeah, GFIs are a pain in the ass, but they're a pain in the butt, but they are a necessary evil for other things. So there was a question earlier from Ariel, A-Rod, PBJ, the PBJ antenna. Woohoo! Do I have to ground my D104?
I saw that. That was great.
I missed it. What was it?
Only if you're choking the chicken.
Do I have to ground my D104?
Only if you're choking the chicken.
Only if it's not a Silver Eagle.
Oh my!
Wasn't that the chicken choker microphone?
I don't know what it is. So,
Joe.
There it is. There it is.
There it is. There it is.
That is the D104.
The lollipop.
The D104. The lollipop.
Nickname the lollipop.
You can ground. All right. My philosophy is, if you think it's going to cause an issue, ground it. That's just what I do. If I think it's going to cause an issue, I'm going to throw a ground on it, and that way it protects everything else. It'll keep you from getting shocked, which I'm sure that thing would be horrible during high static.
I was just saying, if it's going to cause an issue, you ground it. Isn't that what we do to the kids?
Except for my youngest, yes, grounding worked on them. Actually, once my kids got older, my daughter especially, my daughter is, I don't know where she got her intelligence. It must be from her mother, because I know it wasn't from me. My daughter was a straight A student, and the way you grounded her was couldn't read books. She was like, "You're taking books away from me." Yeah, yes, that's your grounding. You don't get to read. You have to sit out here and stare at your father until it's bedtime.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot to ask.
I know, right? My youngest, nothing.
Won't do that again.
No. My oldest, my wife and I talk about this all the time. If we hadn't had my oldest child first, we probably would have stopped with the second. We probably would have had the second child, and that would have been it. Because he was so easy. It's like, man, I got this parenting thing licked. He was so easy, compliant, easygoing, laid back, and he's the journeyman electrician. That second child, I love her to death. I really do. And all I can say is, now that she's married, she's his problem.
Listen, that first child, Mother Nature's like, oh, look at this lovely little human. Wouldn't you like to have another one of these lovely little things?
Yes.
And then the devil child is born.
Oh, but she was nothing compared to my youngest, because my youngest, unfortunately, and this is a topic near and dear to my heart as well, is my youngest he's severely autistic. And that was a trial for 18 years. But brilliant. I watched him one day just because I was bored and I wanted to see what he was doing. And he tapped every inch of the window in his bedroom. And I mean every inch of that window. And he moved back to the center. He tapped. He moved like an eighth of an inch this way. Tapped. Moved right back between the two.
And he froze.
Oh, there we go. I think I'm back.
High fives.
Yep.
Aww.
Yeah, no. He hit the window between the last two taps. He hit the window right between it and shattered the window.
Wow.
Whew.
Wow.
And every CFC light bulb, he'd walk up, he'd look, grab it right at one of the twists, and pop it. I was like, where? Anyway.
Strong kid.
Kids are. Oh yeah, very strong kid. Oh my goodness. But anyway, if you suspect it can cause an issue, I'd throw a ground on it. First kid got to be smarter. They would end.
The bobby pin. He's right.
Well,
Richard is right.
Listen, all right. There is a meme that was in Toads a while back. You know, they labeled the fork tester.
That was me.
So you need to label the fork tester because you need to use the fork as the circuit breaker finder.
That was me. That was me all day long. I'm surprised I made it as old as I am.
Well, you know what they say. You don't get to be old by being a fool. So
then it must be dumb luck in my case.
Yep.
Oh my. And if you have any questions about anything else, because like I said, I've been doing this, and one thing I like sharing with people is because of my job, we do a lot of connectors on everything from LMR 240 up to inch and 5/8 cables. So yeah, we get pretty big.
All right. You said connectors. You said
Yes.
the other magic word.
Yes,
Why is it in
connectors.
the United States and in this part of the world we use UHF connectors for our VHF level when everybody else in the world uses N connectors?
yeah, good question. Or else BNC even.
They're actually. I actually did hear an answer on that, and for the life of me, I can't remember because it was we had a class with oh good Lord, who are they now? They were Anritsu, then they were JDSU, now they're Viavi, and they said that the reason was it had to do with the U.S.'s we're independent and we're not going to conform to the rest of the world type thing, but that's why I could be wrong on that. I'm sure I am because I don't remember exactly why they said.
I like Ron's answer.
What's that?
Yeah.
Because we're cheap.
I like Ron's answer.
Yes, because we're cheap.
Some end connectors ain't cheap.
No, they ain't.
No. What are you talking about? I get them for free.
You want
Ladies and gentlemen, we now have a N connector supply.
He's good on QRZ.
Yes, I am. I am good on QRZ.
So send him some postage.
Ask Noel this that guy. I traded him.
Noel, that guy, yeah.
Yeah, I traded him I don't know how much he actually ended up with. I know it was at least a couple hundred feet of LMR 240, and I got a Yaesu FT 102 out of it with no hand mic. With no hand mic. So I mean, I didn't know what I was doing that day.
Power of persuasion.
But I will say that, like I said, I've been doing this about 30 years, and you would think when the question says, when you're working on your line, what's the one thing that you should make sure you do? Disconnect all transmitters, right? I won't say I've gotten 7 or 8 RF burns in the last 22 years because I'll just I'm used to just taking the connector apart and throwing it back, and then I'll just barely brush that center pin when you're putting it back together. Ooh, I end up with so many white marks on my fingers from that. That RF will burn you all the way to the bone.
Hey, why does my finger tingle every 15 seconds?
Yeah, right.
I can still see the mark on mine from years ago.
Or like that. What's that thing? It's like, no, I'm fine now. Getting that head tick going. I'm fine, really.
Right.
So wait, there's a real quick back to this. He was the kid that he was pissing on the electric fence, or he was pissing on the electrical side because his older siblings told him to go do it. As soon as I heard the song went in my head, Don't whiz on the electric fence.
There's actually a joke about electric fences, and I'll make it short. So this guy follows this couple. They've been married about 60 years, and he hears the wife say, "Let's go back to the first place we ever did it." So he follows them, and they walk behind this barn, and he is witness to the most acrobatic acts between a man and a woman that he's ever seen. And after they recover, he walks up to this old man. He says, "Old man, how can you be so acrobatic?" And he's like, "Well, the first time we had sex back here, that fence weren't electric."
Well, I knew where that was going. I knew where that one was going.
What time is it? We're at the top of the hour.
We are at the top of the hour.
And it didn't come from me or Beer Snack or Shane.
I lost Molson, I think.
He's still here.
He's still here.
Yeah. You can't get rid of him that good. All right, so real quick.
He's taking care of his taxes.
Things. All right.
Oh, okay.
He's doing his time.
So Don,
Uh-huh.
I was walking down the street and I noticed a woman screaming at her son. "How did you lose a cello? It's as big as you are." I walked up to the woman and I said, "For the sake of your son, please don't resort to violence."
Yes.
No, nothing.
Yep.
Oh. Fine. A group of Karens are sitting in a restaurant together. The waiter approaches and says, "Is anything okay?"
Oh. Hey, Don.
Okay. Don't make me go to the internet.
Hey, Pierce.
Don.
Yes, Don.
I think Joe Brett was saying something first.
I was saying Don, and you
Yes.
said yes, Don. Yes, Don. I got one I seen last night. What type of drink is always sick?
A blue drink?
Coffee.
So a string walks into a bar and the bartender says, "We don't serve your kind here." So he goes back outside, has one of his friends, tie him up, and he unfrazzles the end of his hair, and he walks back in, and the bartender said, "Didn't I just tell you we don't serve your kind here?" He says, "No, sir, I'm afraid not."
David, thanks for the super chat.
David, thank you for saving us.
So we're gonna take a moment here. We did say that we had something at the beginning of the show that we're gonna do here, and we're gonna go ahead and give away a sticker pack. And give me a moment. Let's pull this up. So, in memory of, we are going to have the text be Sue. So here we go. If you guys want that sticker pack, go ahead and start. We have a question also. Shane, you're not here. Go away. So go ahead. We're going to go ahead and do our giveaway here. So Sue is the words. And here we go, Scout. Yes.
I don't think we can read that one.
I don't know why some are afraid to talk to their doctor about emotional erectile dysfunction. It's not hard.
I love Scout.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my.
Well, Ron asked me if I was drinking. Of course I am.
I just have to say, Shane, what did you get me into?
Oh, you have no idea.
And you're here for life. You didn't know that, did you? You didn't read that paragraph.
No,
small print. That's a small print.
I didn't read the small print the last time I logged in and y'all voted me in. I didn't get the small print on that. Well, that's probably because I'm blind.
Guess what? After all this shit I've gone through in the last 2 weeks, there's no other place where I want to be.
Yeah. Oh my!
This is some excellent therapy.
All right, so what are we up to here? 53. How many people are watching? 81 or 80 people.
80.
We got.
Yep.
Okay, let's go for a minute here. So, you're terrible. Poor Rich almost lost his beer. That's alcohol abuse.
Yes, it is. Holy reptile! What?
Yeah. All right. Are we ready? Are we ready to push the button? Should I push the button now? How about now?
Yeah.
How about now?
Now.
Go ahead. Push the button.
What if I don't want to push the button?
Then don't push it.
Too late. Shane, why? I hate you, Shane.
Why is Shane in there?
Because he suggested
like 5
Why
times.
is Joe in it? James.
I had to write Sue's name, man.
Congratulations, James. We will get that sticker pack out to you from our anonymous donor for that. Excuse me. Thank you much. Oh, here we go with the jokes, guys. Oh my goodness. No, wrong one. That one. What's the difference between pink and purple? The strength of your grip. Plasma. If that's the case, then excuse me. I'm not coming over. You're not allowed over at my house. What's the difference between toilet paper and a shower curtain? You're not allowed at my house anymore. Alternate QRZ. You have an alternate QRZ? What is it like?
It's a Canadian stuff.
He's got a Canadian one now.
Oh no, this is gonna cost.
They can have 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, you guys. What do you call that? That special stamp now on the Canadian, not the Canadian stamp, those worldwide stamps. What are they?
The international stamps.
The international stamp. There you go.
No, Forever Stamp won't do it.
Forever Stamp won't do it.
Forever will get you to the border. It's about as far as it goes.
I just go to the desk and say I need this to go somewhere.
Yeah. Forever will stop at the convoy.
So, dude, if you're watching, that's got to go to Canada.
Sorry.
I win.
Damn
all
you,
right.
Beer Snack.
So here we are. We've reached the second hour.
Yes.
Yep.
What should we talk about? What do you want?
I don't know, but these jokes keep coming, and I'm just going to stop reading them because, Scout, you're going to get me in a lot of trouble here, man.
Well, we could talk about me.
Wait a
minute.
Did you see that one?
Beersnet, we got to go back to this question that's 20 minutes
which
back
question?
here.
Which question?
Shark
What's the
on
question?
Wheels.
You had a question? There was a question? I missed a question? We need
I
a
like
Frank.
I like the loaf of bread one.
We need a Frank.
Wow. Really should have grabbed that one before the giveaway.
Scrolling back. 20 minutes.
You know, if we were in Discord right now, you see that one about the loaf of bread. If
I'm
we
not
were
talking about it.
I'm just saying. I'm just like the old days.
There you go.
All right. I could tell you guys a story about that, but I can't say it.
So, Shark on Wheels. Question. I have one of those MFJ window pass-throughs with the ground lug. Is proper method to ground the PSU to the radio to the pass-through, then the pass-through to the grounding rod?
Did you follow that?
I did, actually.
Are you daisy chaining them? Because
that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like he's doing, is daisy chaining them. And no, you would not do that.
No, you don't daisy chain power supplies either.
No, you would go from the power supply. You could go from you could probably do the PSU, the radio, to the ground, to the pass through, and then the pass through to the ground rod, because then you have separate grounds going to. I would still say no. I would go the pass through to a copper ground bar or ground plate, and then everything to that copper plate or ground bar. That way, you're separating everything out through that copper, and then the pass through to the ground rod.
So Don, I know a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
His shack is downstairs.
Uh-huh.
Okay. 30 feet one way is a water pipe.
Uh-huh.
Now, in this basement, he could see the copper, but I don't know. I don't know if anywhere from where it goes outside under the street. I'm not sure if it stays as copper. It probably doesn't. So that's probably not a good ground, correct? Station ground.
And if you actually read the question, no, you don't ground your ground rods to water pipes or gas pipes.
As septic pipes or anything like that,
right,
correct?
No.
Okay.
No, you don't ground them.
Okay, so the other side, so then on the other side, the other side where his coax comes into the house, it's probably about the same, 30 feet.
Scout, I know where the water pipe is. We looked at it already.
Yeah.
So
it's over that way.
Scout. No, he's not. Scout. No.
Izzo, you're referring to a cold water ground, right? Where they would ground. The big thing from early construction is when they would ground it to the cold water pipe going out into the street. The cold water ground is actually no longer NEC permitted. It has to be an actual ground rod. So if you are upgrading your panel, you have to actually upgrade that from a cold water ground. You actually have to have a ground rod driven in to your soil outside.
Okay. But what happens if the length, if you're going to run a ground wire to the pass-through, but let's say it's about 25, 30 feet, are you in jeopardy now of creating a harmonic now on some band, or do you just do it? Is it a trial and error thing?
So you're saying if you're going to ground your
station ground, you have your station ground. So let's say the individual builds his own. He takes a piece of copper pipe, flattens it all out, attaches everything to that. Now he runs one wire outside, but it's about 25, 30 feet away from the shack. So that's the only way. That's the only way getting outside. Only way outside. That length.
That's the shortest possible run.
Shortest possible run.
Let me go back.
I know a friend who has that problem.
So while Don is going to that, Ham DeLorean Radio asked the question: how do you guys pass coax through a window? If it's if it's tempered glass, you don't drill into it.
Right.
That's the first rule. Second is, for a window, you can use a pool noodle. You cut a slit in a pool noodle, and you just leave the pool noodle in as your pass through. You just drop the wire in to that, compress it. It'll keep the air out too. The only other issue with that is on a window pass through, you have this much of your window exposed. So if you have a double hung or a slider, you now have this much of your window that's not connected in the middle. So you also have to weather seal that part of it too.
Correct.
So if I can share my screen again.
You can.
Okay, so I've got this pulled up. I don't know if it's...
Whoa!
There we go.
Stream All right. Inception.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. So this is what I would do. Here's your coax cable. If it comes back up again. Yay.
Yep, it's up.
Okay. So my YouTube on my iPad is lagging. So here's your coax cable, and here would be your flattened copper that you're talking about. And then this is inside. So I would run your coax cable to this inside. So this is all these coaxes are going to one ground rod here. Then this one ground rod, or this one ground plate, has one ground going outside to a ground bar. I don't know if I can. Let me do this so that you can see it. And then this lower hatch plate, this here goes to the ground outside. Yeah, there we go. This CAD welded number 2 tinned ground rod, which doesn't have to be our ground ring. This actually runs outside. So this is your flattened copper where you have everything grounded to it, and then you have one that goes outside to your ground rod. So that's how I do it. And this is all inside.
And what if it's 20 feet? What if that lower hatch? That cable right there, the number 2 tinned. What if that is? What's the maximum length that you would consider? The maximum length that you would run that wire at?
I've run these as far as personally, I've run these as far as 15 feet.
Okay.
But that's the room I had to play with. Right. And if you come up here, and this is just an equipment cabinet. What we run with. I took all the company logos so you couldn't see. So here you have the ground bar goes out through or down beside the platform and then into a buried ground ring, and that's probably about 6 to 8 feet in length by itself. Well, that's actually going through concrete according to this, but we do run it down platforms and into an underground or into a ground rod. You can do that. So I've run it 15 feet. These are typically 6 to 8 feet long. So I would even go and say that you can do that 6 to 8 feet, 10, 12. I probably wouldn't go more than 10 personally. I've done 15, which I know I shouldn't have done, but I would say no more than 10, because that's what the electric code said, that you should have these bars or the ground rods about 10 feet apart. So probably wouldn't want to exceed 10 feet if you're going to go another 10 feet to another one.
All right, so we got a couple things in the chat here. Jody, long cable runs can resonate. That's one reason for an artificial antenna ground like the MFJ 931. Puts a tuned circuit in series with the ground to null it out. So it's an RF, not a safety ground. So so that it'll do an RF ground. It's not a safety ground. So it'll help you with like resonating, with regards to your noise and signals like that.
Right.
Other than that, it's not great for safety ground.
Right.
And Don, come on, Don. You should know these things. You're one of
Don Army.
Don Army. Yep. You are one of our contributors, one of our specialists. Where do you attach your lightning arresters? Do you attach them? So I believe the question is, do you attach your lightning arrestor outside in the outside box attached to the outside ground bar, or do you do it inside attached to the inside ground bar?
I thought you did it to the back of the radio.
It depends. It depends on where your
the barrel connector.
It depends on where you're going to terminate your outdoor coax coming off your tower. So if your coax coming off your tower is in an outdoor box, you'd put your lightning arrestor there. I know typically for work, we bring those coaxes all the way inside, so our lightning arresters are inside, mounted on the ground bar.
All right.
Of course, lightning arresters we usually use only for GPSs and stuff, because we have the hatch plate grounded inside and outside. We have the hard line grounded inside and outside. And actually, the hard line, we have it grounded outside before it comes in the building. We have it grounded at the base of the tower. We have it grounded at the midpoint of the tower and at the top of the tower.
Oh.
So,
good God.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they go overboard when it comes to
no kill like overkill.
I can't say.
I was probably not going to answer that one.
Yeah.
How deep would you recommend burying a ground ring?
8 to 10 inches.
Damn it, Steve.
You're welcome, beer snack.
I ignored him.
Just a foot. There you go.
8 to 10 inches is how far is where I'd put the ground ring.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then should you be grounding a G90 if you're out in the woods? So if you grab your G90, you can go in the woods. Credit to Ham Radio Crash Course.
Yep.
In the woods. Me personally,
portable.
yes. Me personally, I would ground it even out in the woods. But that's me. Because I want to mute myself here. Well, my volume doesn't like to be up. I wouldn't say that's a newbie question. There's a lot of people that go out and they don't ground anything when they're working portable. Me personally, I would take the extra time to ground everything, but that's because of what I do. And I believe in overkill.
Mm-hmm.
But no, typically if you're just going out in the woods, no, I wouldn't say you'd have to ground it.
Why do some people run counterpoise for long wire antennas? Okay, so that's not so much for grounding. That's more for balance on RF, for balancing out the SWR on your antenna. So for long wire antennas,
part of the antenna.
It becomes part of the antenna. So for a random wire, a non-resonant length of wire, you'd use the counterpoise of around 17 feet, and that helps keep the RF off of the shield of your coax. So it's not using your coax as the other half of the antenna. That's the primary reason for it. The other part is on a end-fed half wave. It's just helping to bring the SWR curve down a little bit. There you go. Where are we going? Don, I just put my coax into a glass jar. That works, right?
Make sure you video it.
Uh-oh. Kyle, we struck Kyle. No lightning. Please copy Kyle. No lightning arresters in your shack.
I said that today. I said that today on the POTA. Please copy. And I said, oh my God, Kyle's ears are burning.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Kyle, what if they're not attached to anything? Are they still allowed to be in the shack?
Yes.
So anyway, the more paths to ground that don't go through radios, the better. I believe that's in regards to grounding at the midpoint, the top, the middle, and as many ground points on the coax as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going?
And that's why most cell towers, when I go out and I do line sweeps, which I do, I had to do that today to about 3 different sites. When they test good, we average somewhere between a 1.02 to 1 on every line we have. Because you're really stripping the common voltage current off of everything.
Nice.
Just thinking.
Just a tip.
That's what she said. So, does a radio ground in the woods if nobody is there to hear it?
Yes.
But the Chihuahua 500 miles away will still bark.
Yes.
Found the noise level drops when you do ground. That is correct. The noise level can drop.
Yes.
It does help with that. Let's see. Does a bear ground in the woods? No, bear grounds you in the woods. All right, Mike. So Mike Kenrick, he was late. He said he would pick up all the recycling. I told him he's got to start collecting empties. So let's go. Get on it. But he's a newbie. He still hasn't grounded while doing POTA, but that's just how he conducts himself. There we go.
I still like Mike and his kid. They're good people.
Yep.
I just want to say, in my defense for everybody.
Oh, where's my crayons?
I was going to say, did you bring the crayons too?
The green ones. I told Beer Snack, the green ones are what heightens my intelligence.
But the red ones always taste better.
And they make me angry. I don't understand.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. So, again, I had good audio coming through this weekend for some reason, and everybody calling out, please copy, please copy, please copy. So, yes, K8MRD, Mike, yes, there was a lot of that this weekend. And I'm sure Kyle was sitting there in the shack just twitching.
I'm glad he wasn't listening today because I'm sure it was said a dozen times. Yeah.
Very good, Mike. Very good, brother. Very good, Mike.
Oh, my. Yeah, he only lives an hour away from me.
Oh, Mike?
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay.
Very cool. Oh, Mike, K8MRD missed the opportunity.
Oh.
He worked Kyle, and he forgot to say it. That's funny because I worked Kyle. Kyle was doing Ohio QSO party on a Support Your Parks weekend, and I got him with a please copy.
He didn't put you in the log though. He just gave you a 5.9 and kept it going.
Right.
He didn't go in the log. That's your penance.
Jared, my mom enjoyed the episode. I came on as a guest in December. Yay! Well, thank you, Jared. All right. So, with regards to grounding, it's definitely recommended. Yes.
Yes. Very recommended.
All right.
Joe Brett's over there making notes still because he's been quiet the whole time.
Yeah, I have absolutely no purposed grounding in the shack besides the electrical cable powering it. There's no ground connected to my radios and never has been.
And the funny thing is, we actually employ people that their sole purpose in life is to go around and find interference. And when he found out I was a ham radio operator, he's like, "You're not going to be one of those guys I have to come shut down because you're causing interference." I was like, no, because I don't use any frequencies close to what we're transmitting on. And pretty much the only ones I can think of that as a ham radio operator I'd use would be the 900.
Leave it to Caitlin.
Yeah, I was about to say, leave it to Caitlin to count for you. So Kyle worked 2 hours on of Winterfield Day. He was streaming on his channel, and KD9 WHO Whiskey Hotel Oscar. Whoo! Counting, please copy, and it was over 43 in 2 hours. 43 times in 2 hours. That's
Kyle probably pulled all his hair out.
And Caitlin, I want to give a special shout out to Caitlin because she's the one that actually set up and started my test.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I knew I was going to be traveling, so I dumped it off on her, and
she did phenomenal.
So yeah, what would you ground to during a POTA? You bring a 2.5 foot, 3 foot copper pipe, smash the end of it into a point, hammer it into the ground strap to that, and you're good to go. Done.
Unless you're in a historical location where you're not allowed to shove anything in the ground. Yeah.
Well, then you just chip some paint away from the railing that you're near, and just strap to that.
There you go.
You heard it here first, folks. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't. Even if it's not historic, I wouldn't do it. We want to be good stewards of our hobby.
Right. And not leave anything in the park. Right, Don?
Yeah.
Don, we should talk about Shane for leaving stuff in the park. I wonder if he's still waiting to get his antenna out of the tree.
No, that's Scout.
That's Scout, yeah, Shane. That's Scout. Shane, same name.
Anyway, you want me to tell a story?
Yeah, I'll tell a story.
I'll wait to the end. I'll tell a story.
So, Don, any thoughts on the under radio shielding plates that Ward Silver advocates in the ARRL grounding book?
I really don't have any thoughts on that. I've never looked into those. I will admit I've been in ham for 18 years, and I think only 2 of those I was in the ARRL, and something I need to rectify. I've never read any of their books on grounding. Under radio shielding plates. I'd have to research that. I'm assuming it would be a copper plate that your radio sits on, that you would run a ground from your radio to that plate.
Yep.
Okay.
K3LR uses them. Mr. DX Engineering under all of his radios in the contest station and under all the amplifiers. So he's using them throughout the station.
So what is it like? Is it an artificial ground?
It is, but I think he's got it all tied into the single point ground. So I'm not sure the whole point. Kyle would probably be the one to talk to on that. I think he's kind of attached to Ward's station a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Very cool. Okay, so yeah,
Shane. That's just because they want to be nice to me. That's why this is the longest it's stayed on topic.
I'll just say Shane. I'll just say it. Shane is correct. That's all I'm going to say. Shane is correct.
Well, hold on. In our defense, we did start the topic 25 minutes into the episode.
That is true. That is true. Oh my. Yeah, and I think that under radio, because it's copper and it goes to a ground. If I could get my hands on one, I would use it, because you're going to ground your equipment to that, and then that's going to be grounded to your ground rod. So you're accomplishing the same thing as if I had a separate ground bar just mounted on the wall and that run out. You're doing the same thing. So yeah.
Well, why don't I just use a steel desktop and just ground to that?
If you want to be electrocuted when you touch that steel desktop, and I mean the same could be said for the copper. I'm assuming it doesn't go all the way under the radios. I don't know.
The ones that I've seen pictures of, it basically sits completely under the radio. It doesn't stick out very far in the front.
Okay, so you're probably not touching it while you're operating.
Yeah, you're not touching it.
Okay. I just say make your entire desk out of copper and just ground everything to it and be done.
Yeah, because I can afford doing that.
I can't even afford the gas up here in Connecticut, let alone a copper desk.
Ooh, Steve, how'd that hit you? That must have been a sticker shock and a half. It's like what, twice what you're paying down there?
No, it's only about $1 a gallon more. So.
Oh my goodness. Don't grab your Wolf River coils by the coil when transmitting. It'll wake you up real quick. Yes, we've established that. We've definitely established that.
Let me tell you a story about that. I ran a mobile Mars station when I was in the Marine Corps, and we had to ground the vehicle, and we had a 35 foot whip antenna on the vehicle going to a 400 watt amplifier. And just to show you how bright Marine infantry are, there's actually different levels of intelligence. These guys would come in saying, my hands are cold. They'd grab the base of the antenna and say, key up for a second, just to warm their hands up.
Wow.
Oh.
Yes, Jody, a $24,000 copper desk is going on the Amazon shopping list right now. Oh my God.
Oh my.
That's a hell of a lot better. That's a hell of a lot better than a sticker pack, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness.
Whoever makes that copper desk, they're going to be sitting pretty when they sell it.
Uh-huh. Yep, because we're talking about the copper desk right now.
My ham fan! Look at those comments. My ham fan's good tonight. They're right on.
Shout out to the Lasco space heater next to Steve.
Mm-hmm. That little one right there.
Steve, did you pack properly to go up to the Northeast for a blizzard?
Oh shit, no.
I had to lend them a shovel.
Yep, which we got to get that out of the car before I leave.
Yeah, no problem.
Kurt Terpstra, sorry, I just messed your name up. Terpstra says, and yes, we are Uncle Sam's misguided children.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are.
What video did you link, Joe?
I don't know. I just put the RF Philtech KE580X done. Our guest and I just put his YouTube link in the chat, and somebody had mentioned Spike had mentioned on the DX Engineering YouTube channel a couple months ago. It's titled Ward Silver Grounding and Bunting, 2nd edition. I don't know if that's the one he was talking about. So it was a question, not necessarily a post, but I had to post it to ask it. Got that?
Is it just me or just his audio?
I was about to say,
hey, Joe, come down to my house. Joe, why don't you come down and sit next to Steve?
It was.
Look
broken.
At Shane.
I got the gist of it.
Look at Shane.
He sounded like a Porky Pig there. Yeep, 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 yeep. That's all, folks.
Okay. Oh, Scout, you're going to give him a 3-3? Really?
So yeah, Don has a YouTube channel. The link is in there, and it was just posted several times because Shane's like, Don's got a YouTube channel. I'm like, yeah, post a link. You are a mod, genius.
And
but he's at work. So.
And the funny thing is, my most watched video is my grounding video. Imagine
that.
Imagine that.
It's a great topic. We were all grounded in high school, probably all through high school.
What? Just shove your Spyderco Paramilitary 2 with copper scales into the ground, and boom, Bob's your uncle.
I'm going to say this. If you want to do that to your knife,
more power to you.
Believe me, I'm a knife collector too. I've got the entire top drawer of my dresser is nothing but knives, folding knives.
It's dangerous to get dressed in the dark at your house.
Well, that's not the only reason, but
Whoa!
I won't say I won't say anything about the 9mm on my nightstand, the 40 on my dresser, the AR that's in the corner. That's like that old man was coming back from a gun range, and a trooper pulls him over and says, "Where are you coming from, son?" He's like, "I'm coming back from the gun range." He's like, "Well, what's that on your hip?" He's like, "Oh, that's my 9mm." He's like, "You got anything else?" He's like, "Yes, sir. I got a 40 in the glove box. I got a 22 in the center console and a 12 gauge in the back seat." He's like, "Good Lord, old son, what are you afraid of?" And he looks at him and says, "Nothing."
Yep. Ham DeLorean, exactly. You know it's time to move when you get so much snow that your telescoping mast becomes a freestanding.
Is Molson okay? Do we need to do a
his internet?
I saw that.
It's in his internet is in and out. That was his problem there.
I didn't know if the convoy's parked outside and they're all tapped into his house and.
Nah.
I think they're all using the internet up there. So.
Yeah.
Didn't he say he was on Starlink now?
No,
he didn't get it.
Starlink. Oh, okay, here we go. Who the from Jason's stream? Was she a grounding professional?
It was discussed.
I
don't know.
Because he was talking about getting her on the on his show for that. And with the Flex.
And
two in one show there.
Very cool. Well, listen, grounding professionals. She, what kind of therapist is she? Because I mean, I'm getting grounded every week, guys, and it's definitely helping. I've definitely calmed down a lot.
Good God.
No, we didn't make him do anything.
But he's still outside, or maybe he's shoveling snow off the ice skating rink right now. You never know,
right?
Welfare check on Molson. Check 40. Check 20.
Nah, he's on
7188. Okay. Check 7188.
Right. Hang on, I got a 7300 sitting right in front of me. Let me.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so talking about that, Izzo, I mean, Steve just come in and took over your shack completely, right? He's sitting there tonight. He knows where the lightning arrester's at. He looked straight at the water pipe as soon as somebody said something. I mean, he just came straight in and got the floor plan.
He knows where I store the Christmas tree. He knows the circuit breakers. He did commend me on my organization of the layout of the circuit breakers and the label. Now, you remember a few weeks ago, you guys were laughing at me about me using lamination and label making. Steve, tell them about that circuit breaker.
Oh,
box.
yeah.
That thing is.
So wait, hold on, wait. Before we get into this, Steve. So when you open up his breaker panel, do you have all of these like leaflets just pop out because every single outlet is listed next to each breaker?
No. Each breaker is numbered with a label.
Okay.
And then on the door of the breaker box, each number corresponds to an area of the house.
Ooh, like it's supposed to?
Yes, and there's instructions for operating the generator, and on top of it, there's a couple of breakers in the house. So when they built the house, there's a couple of breakers that don't make sense. So in order for me to remember, like in the laundry room, it may say number 5. I know that coordinates to 5 because it doesn't make sense because it's not on the laundry room breaker. So it's all about, man, it's organization, logistics, communications. I don't fail you guys. Cigars. I don't fail you guys. I had all your notes.
Let me tell you. Hey, Don, don't feel bad. My breaker panel outside is labeled for every room that it actually operates.
Oh, there you go. See?
I had a breaker before I moved out, the breaker box, okay? One breaker. This bathroom, this bathroom, this bedroom. Next breaker was this bedroom, this half of the bedroom. Next breaker was the entirety of the kitchen. The next breaker was the dishwasher. The next breaker was the washer and the dryer. And then I think there was one that controlled the entire first floor and the basement. Yeah. Needless, it was fun in my house trying to figure out, just trying to figure that stuff out.
Well,
funny
I'm
story.
willing to bet if I take the outlet cover off, the outlet over here to my left, it'll correspond to the breaker number.
That was a recent upgrade. Yes, that was a recent. Yeah, that was a recent upgrade.
Let me tell you a funny story about breaker panels. So when my youngest was living here, he'd broken the bathroom window, and we just put plexiglass in its place because windows get expensive. Well, he was in taking a bath, and our neighbor calls, and she's like, "Hey, is power out at your house?" And we're like, "No." And just at that time, we hear giggling as he's climbing back in through the window to the bathroom. He had pushed the window out, climbed out of the house butt naked, ran next door, turned every breaker to our neighbor's house off, and come back to the house to get back inside.
Well, listen, wait a minute. Being naked, hang on. Being naked, I'll let that one go. But was he wet? He wet? See, that's the problem. Not the nakedness.
Yeah. Well, and because he has autism, he doesn't think of this stuff. He just went and turned off the power to her house.
That's the danger. The danger is being wet. It's not being naked.
No.
Through the neighborhood.
Oh my, that child is just a lot of good times with him.
Well, welcome to the show, Don Locks.
Yes, good evening. You can catch us on
Don,
team replay.
I hope that you weren't drinking when you just popped in, because whatever it is, it's you're done for. You know what?
If you need a recap, go ahead.
Shane, when you team replay this, we have to figure out how to get the audio from the podcast and put it into here so that we can get the disclaimer in here too, and I can actually mimic the words like I'm saying it or something, maybe.
Bean, hey Bean, good night. 73s, 88s, Bean.
Yep. Let's see. Yeah.
Shark nailed it.
Shark nailed it. Very good.
Monetize tonight, demonetize tomorrow.
Oops.
All right, here we go. We have no. Don was on before. Everybody who's trying to make a motion to have Don voted in, he was voted in before, previously.
Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, it was recent. It really was. Don't ask us to remember. There's been too much between.
What are y'all doing missing the episodes, huh?
Yeah, right.
There you go.
Yeah. Shame on.
Nope.
Oh, that's an beer snack. That's an image.
Nope.
Beer snack. Beer snack. When you lay your head, when you lay your head down tonight and it gets quiet, I want you to.
No. I'm going to find something else to look at and think about before I go to bed. Thinking about that.
Gumby.
That'll give you nightmares.
Gumby.
Yes, Mike. I was on before and I came back.
Yeah.
I am a glutton for punishment. That's
Yep.
I will say I'm getting on a boat on Sunday. We're cruising down to Cozumel, Belize, and somewhere I don't remember. And then the day after we get back is our 29th anniversary.
Congratulations.
I can't believe she hasn't killed me yet. I'm just saying. Which, by the way, let me tell you, my wife is a Marine as well. I met her at 29 Palms. The AR-15 is actually hers. We took it out to a gun range. She only has a red dot on it. That's all she has on it. And she was hitting a man-sized steel target mounted on a 6-foot pole at 300 yards with a red dot, dead center of that steel. So
don't piss her off.
No,
marry that girl.
I did.
keep her on your side. You want that girl on your side.
So, Joe Brett, if you ever need anybody for backup, I'm sure.
Yeah, I got you. That's like my wife. When we first met, she was terrified of the gun, and
oh God, how much trouble do I want to get in tonight?
I was just, thank you. I'm glad you said it, not me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for somebody to tell me no.
No.
So yeah. Anyway, now my wife can about outshoot me, so you gotta be careful.
Oh yeah.
But your wife can outshoot you, huh, bro? Jet? That's a problem. She qualifies better than you do, dude.
Now, my wife can outshoot me with the rifle. She can't outshoot me with a pistol. And well, if they get closer than that, then I'm the one with. I also have a Scottish claymore in the house. I'm good with that. I have a katana. I have a rapier. Beer snack? No.
No, I know exactly. What a rapier is. Okay. A rapier. You pronounced it properly. Yes. Okay. Because if you said it the other way, I would have said no, that's a problem, and you need to seek counseling for it.
Yes, but I do have a rapier, and I have I've got like 6 or 7 swords on top of all my knives. So, and yes, I do have a K-bar because Marines.
Not.
Can't live without a K-bar.
Yep,
that's right. Mm-hmm.
My wife has never been afraid of guns. We didn't have them for the longest time because of my youngest. You don't want to that mix. So
right. Goodness.
Yeah, Phil, this is a learning curve for us in the monetization. And the
already around. Demonetized.
Don't you have to go and put some notes in it or something when you start talking about things that go pew pew and stuff?
Pew pew.
Well, I don't know if it's that you got to put notes in there. You just can't display the things that go pew pew.
Okay.
Yeah, you can talk about them.
That's why I wear sleeves.
You don't want to show off that gun show?
Jody.
I am not. No, I am not going to give that one.
Which one, Jody? About
Joe. I'm not going to give Joe. No. Jody with the Scottish claim. No, I was talking about Joe with the gun show. That's why I wear long sleeves.
Yeah.
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 I have a chihuahua.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. But anyway.
All right. So we are almost 2 hours into this. We have gone through a whole ton of things, a whole ton of emotions tonight. We've laughed. Well, we cried. We laughed. We had nasty images put in our head. Thank you. And we laughed again. And then there were some bad dad jokes. We talked about grounding. Don's trying to talk over me. So go ahead, Don.
Sorry about that, Bear Snack. No, go ahead. I was talking to myself.
Were you?
It's a bad habit. Yes.
How many times have I? Yeah, but I fed you so many lines tonight, didn't I?
Just tossing the softballs up, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So, just watch James Yeager's live stream tomorrow. Your monetization will be. Oh my God. Listen, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's still hanging out with us here at the end of the second hour. like I said, we've had a very emotional night. We had our 2 tribute videos for Sue, for Don, and how much we enjoyed having her in our family, and how much we will continue to enjoy having her in our family no matter what, because she's always with us and making us freaking laugh, because she was all about fun too. So, if you have a chance, go back and watch those other 2 videos, and make sure that you are sitting down with a box of Kleenex or paper towels or something. Just they're sweet videos. You wouldn't expect it from the Clubhouse, but they're very sweet and touching. We love them. Thank you. So, with that being said, there's also I don't know if Dude ran out, because there was 2 at the beginning of the show, but now I don't think there's any left. I don't know. I haven't checked. But the sticker packs from Toads. Last I knew there were 2, but they're probably gone by now. All proceeds go to that man down there, that one right there. That way. Fingers are hard.
Oh, I could say something, but I won't.
Go ahead, Don. Go ahead. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. You know you want to.
I'm being
you
good.
know you want to let it go.
I do, but I'm gonna be good this week. You want to know why? You want to know why?
She's here. She'd want you to let it out.
No, anyway, I got her wedding bands around my neck, and it's when it gets warm. I can feel her. She's like, "Go easy, boy."
The chain starts getting tight.
The chain gets tight.
So, all proceeds go towards Izzo and the family, as well as the GoFundMe that is at the top. It's pinned at the top of our chat here. The GoFundMe for the Izzo family. They're doing a great job. In fact, Steve, what's the number? What's that number up to?
That number is.
You guys are crazy. I love you.
$40,440.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Much needed. Very much needed.
It's very big. Don, dude, there's so much for not just from this community.
Oh, here, I know it's huge. It's huge,
and not just from the Ham Radio guys, and not just from the content, and not just from or anybody that's in the chat or anybody like that. But the family that you have is so much bigger than just us. And we just want you to know that your family, from your family, to your family, from all of us, you are loved, you are appreciated, and thank you, man.
Again, a big shout out to the Ham fam. I must also include the community here in Westbrook, Connecticut, where I work up in Middletown and Portland. The Raw Boys up there in Middletown,
I might have another comment about that.
The Middletown Fire Department, Portland Fire Department, Middletown Police came down. Many of them contributed, as well as they came down to the service yesterday. I'm sorry, on Sunday, and they were assisting with us, and just you guys are our A++. So thank you from my family. To everybody, and everybody, I'm going to say this, okay? Ham radio is a hobby. Let's just sometimes, when we get aggravated, we start keying up, maybe accidentally or purposely, on people. We start getting a little crazy on the airways. Why don't we just back off a little bit? Be nice to each other. Let's all be nice humans and be nice to each other, because I know I have a little different outlook on life because of this, and you guys are my shining light, so I love all you. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. So with that being said, check out Don's YouTube channel. Yeah, he's got a lot of great information there. If you have any questions, he's in Discord. I know he's in
catch me on Twitter.
Discord.
Catch me on Twitter, Smoke Signals RF, and we'll be getting give me a little bit of time, guys. I do want to get some stuff up. I do want to get some stuff back up on YouTube. So, but just give me a little time.
When you're ready, Don. When you're ready.
Absolutely.
So, the other Don, our guest this evening, also has a YouTube channel. He is in Discord. He's in. I believe you're in the Clubhouse. I believe you're in Toads. I believe you're in Ham Radio Crash Course. You're in a lot of the Ham Radio Discords. All you got to do is ping him. If you got a question, go ahead. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to assist you. We all learned a lot tonight, didn't we? I learned something.
Incredible show tonight.
I learned something. Yes. So,
now I will stop. One more thing I want to show for my last video, which was maintenance video. When you don't take care of your equipment and you stick it in a hot garage for 10, 12 years, it ends up looking like this.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Ew.
Sticky.
That's yucky.
Sticky and yucky.
All right. So, Joe, you got anything?
Yeah, just I want to give a quick shout out to our other show that's on the weekends. It's not us, but friends of ours that help put together some of these sticker packs and stuff. The Coffee and Ham Radios, I'm sure most of y'all in the chat already probably watched them, but if not, there's your link. Go support them as well. They're really close to getting over their 1K as well. Their milestone, excuse me. But great group of guys that help support too. So, and other than that, I got to come up with something else to record for video because I ran out. But I got a couple.
I'll come down to your house. I'll come down to your house and operate your shack. I'll do what Steve did to me. Maybe that should be a thing. Maybe that should be a thing. We should start showing up at someone's house.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, but Don, you're restricted to the general portion. Yes! Yes!
Oh, it's burning! It's burning now.
Oh man!
Nice, Steve. You got anything?
Yeah, actually, I filmed today with Don and I out doing POTA in the truck. So I got to edit that one down, and then I actually went over to W1AW yesterday and got to operate a little bit. So got that video I need to edit. So made it a quote work trip while I was here. So
okay, all right, that works. There we go. So and then Shane said something about Winter Field Day video posting on Thursday. So if you feel like it, you can go watch that too. Since he's not here tonight, we can tease him all we want. There's nothing he can do about it. Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, ladies and gentlemen on the podcast, and everybody who's hung out with us for these last 2 hours, we appreciate you. We thank you. Enjoy everything. Get on the air. Do it legally. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Night, Sue. I love you.